Show starts in 5 minutes.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves.
Here's a new taste treat. The corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Men, there's a drive-in movie full of juicy people. Wow! It's a trap! Help! It's Pick! We've had it, men.
A pleasant aroma for you, but not for mosquitoes. Pick is easy to use. Light it and forget it. Pick's aroma keeps mosquitoes, gnats, and sandflies away. Pick is the best protection for barbecues, fishing and camping trips, or just relaxing in the yard.
So if you don't want our company ever anywhere, just light Pick and see what I mean? Bye.
Pick is on sale at the refreshment stand now. Show starts in 2 minutes.
Today we're interviewing a stomach.
Hello there.
What is life like as a stomach?
Oh, boy, it was humdrum. I mean, until what's-his-name discovered Tony's Pizza.
Tony's Pizza?
Yeah, I was suffering from the pizza cravings until Tony's came along. Crispy crust and zesty sauces. Wow.
And so now... What's that?
Another pizza craving. Just thinking about Tony sets it off.
Oh, where are you going?
He's going to get a Tony's Pizza, and I follow him anywhere.
Does your stomach send you pizza craving signals? Oh, wow. Tony's, the Pizza Craver's Pizza.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now.
And now, on with the show.
Oh, hello. Oh, I'm tiny. Why am I tiny? What's going on? There we go. Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the movie quiz. I am your host, Chris Mann Nelson, and we're about to embark together on a 50-point journey of movie trivia, puzzles, all kinds of fun stuff. This week, so a new season's going to start soon. I think 2 weeks is what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for the 28th. But so before that, tonight is going to be spring cleaning. I've got 5 years of ideas. Some of them that don't all make it. So I found some of the ones I've wanted to use in a quiz, but have not found the right theme or whatever. So this is our spring cleaning. I don't know when I wrote half of these. Some of them I finished today. They were just rough ideas. But it's all going to be a hodgepodge of different stuff. All right, so let's jump right in here tonight. Let's put this into in-game mode. There it is. Close. There we go. All right. So let's do it. Let's jump into our first round of tonight's. Why did that happen? Oh my God, I have no idea. StreamYard's always adding things and making things confusing. All right, so this first round, this is called Full Circle. Movies that turned into musicals, that turned into movie musicals. It's about ones that went all three. I'm going to give you the years of all the releases and like a little info about it, and you got to name the work. All right, and some of them, there's going to be plenty of decimals tonight. It's decimals galore. This one's straightforward. A couple of them, the original movie has a different name from the musical and the musical movie, so I split those into half points. All right, but there's weirder decimals coming, I promise. All right, so here comes your first question in Full Circle. The original movie is 1988, musical 2002, movie musical 2007. 3 different men played one woman across the 3 versions of this story. Movie 1988, musical 2002, movie musical 2007. 3 different men played one woman across 3 versions of this story. How's everybody doing? How are we tonight? Yes, decimals are on the docket. I know that I forget what it was, but I had a chance to do them the other day or a couple weeks ago, and I blew it. So I made up for it this week. All right. So those 3 men were divine: Harvey Fierstein and John Travolta. It's Hairspray. Hairspray went all the way around from movie to musical to movie musical. All right. Your second question, movie. And I don't remember how to host a game. Movie 1960, musical 1982, movie musical 1986. The stage play omitted Jack Nicholson's early role as a masochist with an oral fixation, but the movie musical brought a variation of the character back, played by Bill Murray. Groundhog Day, ghost busting ass Bill Murray. What am I talking about? I feel like this little phenomenon of movie musicals, this cycle has been, there's been an uptick of it lately. The in-person game was good. The same team won again, but there's another team that's getting very close. So it's their reign cannot last. All empires fall. All right, so this one is Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is the 1960 Roger Corman movie. And also, here we go. Look at this. Show it. Come on, StreamYard. You want it? It's not working. It's the Frank Oz graphic. Come on. Okay, never mind. Now it's gonna do there. Now it does it like 3 random times. Not when I want it. Now, all right, let's move on. All right, your third question. Movie 1969, musical 2001, movie musical 2006. The movie and the musical earned a legendary comedian half of their EGOTs. So half of this comedian's EGOT was from the movie and the musical version, the stage musical. So movie 1969, musical 2001, movie musical 2006. Got half an EGOT for somebody. All right, interesting. It had an even split of teams guessed Dreamgirls and the producers. The answer here, the comedian who got half their EGOT from this one property is Mel Brooks. It's the producers. The producers is your movie and musical. All right, question number 4. Movie 1963, musical 1982, movie musical 2009. The musical versions switched the story's language from Italian to English and rounded up the title by 0.5. So there's 2 answers for this one. The movie had one name, the musicals had a different name. You get a half point for either one of them. All right. Once again, the movie is 1963, the stage musical 1982, movie musical 2009. The musical versions switched the story's language from Italian to English and rounded up the title by 0.5. Let you think about that for a little bit. You got to type 2 things, so although they're pretty short, both of them are pretty short. Maybe that tells you something. All right. Time is just about up. So let's see. Hang on. Yep. Let me just grade a couple of these here. All right. So the Italian movie is 8.5, and the musical and movie musical based on 8.5 is 9. So that's what I mean by they rounded up the title by a half. All right, question number 5. Movie 1936, musical 1998, movie musical 2005. Maybe the only truly ironically made adaptation on this list. The musical versions mocked the infamous original's alarmist drug abstinence message. Movie 1936, musical 1998, movie musical 2005. Maybe the only truly ironically made adaptation on this list. Hang on, wait. I see that. I'm looking in the chat. Some people didn't get their points. Let me figure that out for you. All right. Sorry, yeah, I see. Why did it do this? Because I see a couple teams didn't get their points for 9. Hang on. Let me fix that let's see. So the answer for this one is Reefer Madness. Reefer Madness is the answer that I am looking for this one. Hang on. This should be 0.5. And I'm just updating some scores to reflect. For some reason, I think if I don't program it to say like the number 9, I programmed it for NINE. It doesn't recognize that for some reason, but you should have your half points now if you just wrote the number 9. All right. So question number 6, a book in 2002. This did not originate as a movie. Movie 2004, musical 2017, movie musical 2024. The 3 versions turned out to be pretty fetch at the box office, with each turning a profit. So this was based on a book from 2002. The first movie was in 2004. The stage musical 2017. The movie musical 2024. The 3 versions turned out to be pretty fetch at the box office, with each turning a profit. All right. So everybody who submitted, it might be everybody. Let's see. Got this one right. It is Mean Girls. Mean Girls. I'm sure Fetch gave that away. It was based on a 2002 book called Queen Bees and Wannabes. That's what Tina Fey based it on. All right. Your penultimate question of the round, also based on a book. This one from 1982. Movie 1985. Musical 2005. Movie musical 2020. That should be 2023. Excuse me. 2023. Steven Spielberg was part of the creative team for both the movie and the movie musical versions. A book in 1982 became a movie in 1985, became a musical in 2005, became a movie musical in 2023. Steven Spielberg was part of the creative team for both the movie and the movie musical versions. Also, shout out to, I tried to work in to this. It was just the flow is a little more complicated. The connections between Wizard of Oz, The Wiz play, The Wiz movie, and also Wicked, the play, with the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem, and Wicked, the movie. So like it's sort of in this, but honorable mention to the Wizard of Oz Wiz Wicked universe. All right. So, okay. So this one was tough. Some guesses on West Side Story. Not a bad guess, but that actually started as a musical. This one, and I guess it started as a book, but not from 1982, more from the 1600s, Romeo and Juliet. But this one that I'm looking for is The Color Purple. The Color Purple is went from the Alice Walker book to the Spielberg movie to the musical to the movie musical from 2 years ago. All right, and your final question of this full circle round. Movie 1975, musical 2005, movie musical planned for the late 2010s, but never materialized. It seems that the prospect of a movie musical suffered a fatal blow, but maybe it's only a flesh wound. All right, so this one never quite completed the circle. It was planned, but it never quite happened. And it's got 2 different titles. The movie and the musical had 2 different names, but they are definitely companion pieces. All right, so time is up for this one. Hang on, my grader is not showing up. Why is that happen? Why is that not working? All right. I may have to. Oh, there we go. There we go. Cool. I will take these. All right. So the two works. This never got made. Eric Idle tried to get it made, but it's the movie musical of Spamalot, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and Spamalot are your two answers. All right. So let's take a look at your scores and standings here after one round. Oh, there's a bot? There's a bot in the chat. Best view. Let's see what the bot has to say. It's been a while since a bot's been here. Best with a little Swedish O over it. Viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. If anybody's looking for best viewers, streamboo.com is where you got to go. All right, so we got Fun Times and Avis and Bobo with 2.5, Pepe the King Prawn and Trivia Rocks with 3, Stallone and Helsinki Syndrome with 3.5, and a four-way tie at the top with 5 points apiece between Powder, Chris the Curator, Marley's Chains, and Hans Still Solo. So truly anybody's game here as we head into the picture round. We're going into the picture round next. Hang on, let's see. So your picture round here. I am adding little images to the picture round, to all the round things. All right, so this is one that I wanted to do for a while. It's origin stories, and it's not exactly what you think. I'm vamping while this stupid thing loads. Everything is being real shitty tonight. All right, so what it is I've got 8 movies for you that are American remakes. They are American remakes, and I've got a word bank of countries or regions that you match. Let's pull it up and I'll show you. All right, so match the American remake to the country or region where the original movie was made. Typo D at the end. D for disregard. Match the American remake to the country or region where the original was made. So your bank of countries and regions is Germany, France, the Soviet Union, Hong Kong, Spain, Japan, Sweden, United Kingdom. You got 8 American movies there. You got to match them up. Since this is a word bank one, you don't have to you have to think, but you don't have to come up with the answer necessarily. I'm going to give you a little less time than usual. I'm going to give you 3.5 minutes. All right, which starts now. Clock is ticking. Work on this and submit your answers. And so you got a little under a minute and a half left for these. Just about a minute and a half. You can get out of here. All right, everybody, you got about 40 seconds left. 40 seconds. All right, my pals, I'm going to start that timer now. 15 seconds on the clock. Don't forget to submit your answers. Tell me where the originals of these came from. All right, then time is up for this one. All right, so let's go over your answers before. Hang on, where am I? Come back. There I am. Pardon me. All right, so you had to tell me the countries where the originals of these remakes came from. Let's reveal them here. Number one, The Italian Job was originally a UK film. 2, The Departed was originally called Infernal Affairs, a Hong Kong movie. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is Swedish. Vanilla Sky was called Abre los Ojos, and it was from Spain. Both versions had Penelope Cruz in it. City of Angels was based on Wings of Desire, a German movie. 6, Diabolique was based on Les Diaboliques, which was French. Let me just... This is not responding. This is not cool. Hang on. The Grudge is Japanese in origin, and Solaris is a Soviet film. Let me correct that. Someone wrote USSR, and that's absolutely correct. All right. So that is the end of the picture round. Let me know if your rescore went through. Everyone should have gotten their points, but everything's being a little slow and buggy tonight. All right, so let's move on to our lightning round. So this is all. This was whittled down from an idea of a Star Wars on TV round that I wanted to do. But I whittled it down to this. All right. A second season of Star Wars series Ahsoka was announced in 2024, which would make it only the third live action Disney Plus show in the Star Wars franchise to get past season 1. What are the 4 shows that were either canceled or have no current plans for a second season? All right. I'm going to give you a minute and a half to work on this one. What are those 4 Star Wars shows that have no plans for a second season? All right, everybody, we're just under 30 seconds left. No, we're at less than that because all of my internet is slow and garbage tonight. That's a good way to run a live stream. So, all right, I'm going to put 15 seconds on the clock now. Trying to make this work. Doesn't want to. disconnected from the server. Let's lock these in. So very annoying. All right. All right. So I'm going to reveal these here on the stream while I wait for my computer to catch up with the world at large. So these shows are The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Skeleton Crew, and The Acolyte. Those are the 4 shows that were either designed to be a single season, or they just they were either straight up canceled, or they are just not planning on doing anything with them for the time being. All right, I'm still working on getting this to work. I don't know why it's being so shitty. All right. So how's everybody doing? Let's get out of here. Get out of here with this. All right. I don't like these scenes. They're weird. All right. So it's still being slow. So I have no idea who's winning at the moment, because I can't see anything. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? I see missing a half point from the 8. I'm fine. Okay. You can see me. I just can't see the game and run the game. That's not helpful. All right. So I think we're back up and running now. Okay, cool. Skeleton Crew, Clone Wars, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. I think everybody's good. All right. And I see that we're missing some half points. I'll see what I can do. We'll see if it comes down to it. All right. So let's see. Pepe the King Prawn with 3, Trivia Rocks with 6, Fun Times with 6.5, Stallone with 8.5, Avis and Bobo with 11.5, Helsinki with 12.5, Chris the Curator with 13.5. And a 3-way tie at the top now between Powder, Marley's Chains, and Han Still Solo with 14. All right, so that brings us to the puzzle round. All right, so the puzzle round this week, I've done this before and it went well. So let's see. It's called 4-letter word letters. So it's going to be 6 puzzles. If you don't know what a word ladder is, I've got an example of one here. So a word ladder is where you start with one word and then you change one letter of that word. So like quiz, you change the last letter to be T, and then you change one more. Did I not grade up the Star Wars ones? That's probably why. Oh, there we go. Okay. So fuck what I said about the scores. I'll read them again. Later. Sorry, gang. That's my bad. All right. So back to the puzzle. So it's 3. This word letter are going to be 3. This is where the decimals are going to come in, because each one is only worth 1 point, but divided 3 ways. All right. So the way this one's going to work is I've got 3 images for you. And they will form each. So there's the first one and the last one are missing I've blurred out either the entire title or one 4-letter word, which will then word ladder. So and you just fill in the gaps, but they have to be in order down the ladder, 1, 2, 3. So you're going to be going in descending order. So what is that first in that first poster? What is the 4-letter word that I have blurred out? Then what is the 4-letter word in that last title? Some of these might have multiple 4-letter words, but only one of them will complete the word ladder. And then the one in the middle rung of the ladder will be a movie itself. It will be a 1-word 4-letter film title. Okay, so I think I explained that well. Here's this again. You change one letter at a time, but make sure that they are in the right order for these. Okay. So, where am I? There I am. There we go. All right. So this one should result in some good old-fashioned, what do you call them? Decimals. But of course, it's not working. I give credit for Boba Fett. Hang on. Hang on. I gave credit for just Boba Fett, but let me see. Super fucking frustrating that this is not being responsive. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to start the timer. Hopefully that works. Hang on one second. I'm going to disappear for a second and try to work this. All right. Jesus Christ. All right. I've got this, I think, worked out, and I gave a point. There was a missing Boba Fett one. I gave that point. All right. Come on. All right. So this one. Okay. This is just straight up nothing is working. Okay, there we go. So it's Hail Caesar and My Fair Lady, which if you go down the word ladder, it gets you to Hair. Hair is the middle movie. All right. Okay. This is not working. I am going to try something and just stay put, and I'm going to try to work something out. Hang on. All right, let's see. All right, so all right, cool. I actually completely rebooted my computer in that time. I've never done that before. All right, now we're up to this one. I think it just wasn't happy about something and connecting to the internet. So I rebooted. Let's see. Is it still? Feels like it's still doing this. That's not great. All right, so this next one is actually another appearance of the second time one of these movies has appeared tonight. It's Mean Girls and Never Been Kissed, and in the middle you get Bean. You go from these two movies with Lindsay Lohan and Drew Barrymore, and you get Mr. Bean right in the middle. This is still not doing anything. That is not good. Don't know why it doesn't want to work. All right, let me see if I can. I'm going to close that out. And we're going to try this again. I don't know if it's because I'm running kind of an old version of the software. No. This is not the laptop, because the laptop this is purely garbage internet. This is Optimum. It just does not want to respond. All right, hang on. I'm going to try something else. Hopefully we don't have to bail on the game. If not, we'll make it up somehow, figure it out. We'll suspend it like a rain delay. Hi there. Okay. Let's see now. I rebooted my modem this time. My modem and my router. And it seems I don't want to jinx it. Okay. Cool. Great. So here is your third. Here's your third one. Sorry, this is taking forever. Thankfully, we were moving along at a good clip, and I still think I'll be able to bring this in under an hour. I see answers coming in. That's good. That means that that's doing something. All right, I'm gonna put this up on the stage there. All right, great. So it was just being a silly goose. It was internet. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sticking with it. Hopefully, write a letter to Optimum Online because they stink on ice. Their internet connection just sucks. All right, so this one, it goes The Big Sick, leading to Duck Soup, and in the middle you've got Dick. In the middle you got Dick, the movie Dick, the 1999 movie with Kirsten Dunst. All right, here comes your next one. I've blurred out the entire title on the first one, but there's one 4-letter word in it, and that will get you down the ladder. Oh, hell yeah. We got some really jacked up decimals here. I love it. I absolutely I absolutely love it. I'm so glad we finally got here. Live streaming is a pain in the ass, folks. It's it's not always great. All right. So this one, the first movie is Tango and Cash, and that leads you to The Man in the Iron Mask. And in the middle, you've got the movie MASH. MASH, the Robert Altman original that was that the TV show was based on. All right, we got two more in this round. What is your ladder on this one? I've blurred out the entire there's 2 4-letter words in the final movie there, but you got to pick the right one that'll get you that will get you there. I really like this format, but I remember I wrote this and I pretty much exhausted all of the like every possible combination that there could be. There's 2 because I'm playing with cutting the puzzle round down for time and sanity purposes, and there were 2 that I cut out of this, and it required me using the blaxploitation film Black Belt Jones, which I kind of reaching when we get to Black Belt Jones. All right. So for this one, we got Face Off, leading to Call Me by Your Name. The ladder brings you in the middle to Fame. I'm gonna live forever, unlike my internet connection. All right, and our final puzzle for tonight's game. Part of the first one is a compound word, so I'm just looking for the back half of the compound word. Oh, also, because I saw Avis and Bobo said just not our night. And so I was asked before how the in person game went. It's not my night either because I somehow left home without my audio cables that I need to do it. So we worked it out. The bar was able to track some down, but they had to like go to some guy's house to get it. So that was a hassle. It all worked out and we had a good game, but there's definitely is it a full moon again? It's raining, but last time there was weird shit happening. It turned out, I asked you guys if it was a full moon and it turned out it was. All right. So we've got Jarhead leading to Midnight Meat Train, the Clive Barker movie. And right in the middle is Heat, the Michael Mann, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer. Full moon was on Monday. All right. So maybe that's why I've had problems but been able to solve them. Maybe that's it's close but not enough. Okay, fair enough. All right, so now let's take a look at our scores and standings here after these rounds. I realize some people are maybe missing some points, but we got Trivia Rocks with 8 points, 6. Stallone with 11.5, Fun Times with 14.5, Avis and Bobo with 17.16666667. I love it. Chris the Curator with 18.5, Helsinki with 21.833383 repeating. Marley's Chains with 22.66666 rounded up to 7, and Powder and Han still solo tied at the top with 24, and even 24. Come on, guys, get with the decimals. All right, so that brings us to the double points round. You see, I got Tony Stark holding up two fingers. So this one was a round that I wrote a while back. It's all about 3 movies in a series. It could be that were all directed by the same person. It could be, some of these are straight up trilogies. Some of them are pieces of a larger series with 3 or more installments directed by one director. All right. So 2 correct answers, 1 fake one. Don't pick the fake one. All right. Which 2 trilogies originating from book series had the same director for all 3 movie installments? Your options are The Da Vinci Code, How to Train Your Dragon, and Jurassic Park 1 through 3. Each one of these is worth 1 point. The 2 correct answers is worth 1 point. Picking the wrong answer will knock you down to 0. You all know, if you're here, you know how this works. Oh, now it's working smooth as hell. It's all working fine. Those moments when you're in them feel like they take forever, but that was probably in real life like 5 minutes total. All right, so the 2 that are based on a book that had the same director throughout are The Da Vinci Code and How to Train Your Dragon. Jurassic Park 3 was directed by Joe Johnson. Spielberg hung it up after The Lost World. All right, question number 2. Which set of filmmakers followed Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future model and made parts 2 and 3 of their trilogies simultaneously? And all of your options are trilogy directors whose names end in ski. Lana and Lily Wachowski, Gore Verbinski, Chad Stahelski. Which 2 of these skis followed the Zemeckis method? They should just call it that. Just call it the Zemeckis method. I haven't seen anybody do that in a while. The YA movies did that a lot. The YA run of the 2010s did a lot, like Harry Potter and Divergent and all that shit. All right, so the 2 sets of trilogies that were made with parts 2 and 3 at the same time was The Matrix and Pirates of the Caribbean, meaning it's the Wachowskis and Gore Verbinski. Chad Stahelski made John Wick. He made, I think, all 4 John Wick movies, but he did not make them simultaneously. All right, number 3. Pick the pair of sub-trilogies within the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe that had the same director across all 3 movies. Your options are the Captain America trilogy, not the one with Sam Wilson, the new one, but the Steve Rogers trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Ant-Man. You know what? You know what? Rosemary, you're right. I am supposed to read. I should be reading every number. Let's see if it's. Let's see how I'm doing. Let's see how I do on time with bringing this game home. I don't want to keep everybody up late, but you're absolutely right. When there's decimals, I am supposed to say every number. All right. So the two MCU sub-trilogies are Guardians and Ant-Man. Guardians and Ant-Man. Interestingly enough, the guy, Joe Johnston, who made the third Jurassic Park, made the first Captain America. But he did one of both of those trilogies. All right. Question number 4. Which two of these directors who made a famous remake or soft reboot also directed its 2 sequels? Was that David Gordon Green for Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, Steven Soderbergh for Oceans 11, 12, and 13, or Matt Reeves for Rise of, Dawn of, and War for the Planet of the Apes? Which two of these directors who made these remakes made a remake that turned into a trilogy and did all 3? All right, we are just about halfway through this round. Steven Soderbergh made all 3 of the Oceans movies, and David Gordon Green made the new Halloween trilogy. Matt Reeves, like Joe Johnston, Joe Johnston did not do Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but he did the other 2. All right, question number 5. Which two of these filmmakers directed at least 3 entries in a long-running franchise, but not consecutively? They'd done 3 or more, but they never did 3 movies in a row. Ridley Scott, Bryan Singer, Christopher McQuarrie. Which two made 3 or more movies in a long-running series, but they left and came back? Also, Bryan Singer. Sorry about that. So he's one of the answers because he did X-Men 1 and 2 and 5. Then he did not come back. He did 2 more, but there were 2 other movies in between. And Ridley Scott took off from Alien for like ever. And then made the Prometheus movies. Christopher McQuarrie has made 3 and now 4 Mission Impossible movies in a row. All right, question number 6. 2 franchises. Which 2 franchises have had 6 installments? 6 installments made by the same director. One of these filmmakers, their first indie film was retconned into the big budget franchise's continuity. Your options are Fast and Furious, The Middle-earth Saga, and Saw. So 2 of these franchises, because one guy made 5 in a big budget franchise, and but his early indie movie was actually retconned to be in the continuity. And that's right. Joe Johnston made The Rocketeer, which is why he was a great choice for Captain America: The First Avenger. He had that 40s aesthetic down. All right, so obviously Peter Jackson made the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, and Justin Lin made 5 Fast and Furious movies over the course of the series. And his early movie, Better Luck Tomorrow, was he took one of the characters, Han, and put him in a Fast and Furious movie there in Tokyo Drift, thereby making his earlier movie actually a Fast and Furious movie retroactively. All right, question number 7. Pick the 2 Spider-Man directors who made a complete trilogy of films. Mark Webb, John Watts, Sam Raimi. And I know this is tough. Some people don't know directors, but that's why it's experimental. It's spring cleaning. Where I'm airing out the ones that tickled my fancy, but I wouldn't necessarily want to put into a game that counted for anything. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't want to put this in a game that counted, because it's tough. I think the numbers bear out that it's a little bit of a tough one. So obviously Sam Raimi did an entire Spider-Man trilogy. But Mark Webb made the 2 amazing Spider-Man movies. He never made a third, but John Watts made the 3 home Spider-Man movies. But the one guy who's incorrect his name is Webb. It's like the beard. It's like the one guy in ZZ Top who doesn't have a beard. His name Beard. All right, and your last question of this round: which 2 series had the same director for the first 4 movies before a new filmmaker came in for the 5th entry? Your options are Mad Max, Scream, Indiana Jones. Which 2 of these had the same director for the first 4 films, but someone else came in for part 5? I'm tired too. All right, so Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3, and then later Crystal Skull were all Spielberg, and then James Mangold made Dial of Destiny, and Wes Craven made Screams 1 through 4 before he died. But Mad Max, all 5, up through Fury Road and now Furiosa, they were all made by George Miller. All right, so you know what? I'm going to skip the scores because it's late, because we had a delay, and let's keep rolling into the post-credits blitz. This post-credits blitz is all about unmade sequels. Unmade sequels. I think I did a round about it once in the past, and I wanted to do this round itself is an unmade sequel. Holy shit! Look at that. Life imitates art, imitates the movie quiz. All right, so here we go. Your first out of 4. So there's 4 now in the blitz. 4 pairs of questions. Name the global health crisis used as a plot point that led the creative team behind Forrest Gump 2. There was going to be a Forrest Gump 2 to believe that the movie would be too dark. That's for 1 point. What is that health crisis? That virus? Or name the terrorist attack used as a plot point that led the creative team behind Forrest Gump 2 to believe that the movie would be too dark. That's for 2 points. So pick one. If you haven't played this style of round before, pick one. So they were going to make a Forrest Gump 2. They were all ready to go. They had Hanks, because there is at least 2 Forrest Gump books. But they were like, this would be bad if we did this. This may be the hardest pair. All right, so ultimately it was 9/11 that dissuaded them. For that, 9/11 called the project off, but that's not what Forrest was going to be. Okay, so first of all, AIDS, because there's already AIDS in Forrest Gump 1, but there was going to be more Forrest Gump 2, more AIDS, it was going to be called. But then he was also going to fall in love with a Native American woman, and she was going to die in the Oklahoma City bombing. That's that. So they were like, then 9/11 happened, and they were like, do it. This is bad. This sucks. Let's not do this. All right. Your second set of questions about unmade sequels. Give me the last name of the vengeful Quentin Tarantino character he had planned to revisit 10 years later. this time as the target for vengeance herself. Just give me your last name. Or give me the last name of the brothers, played by John Travolta and Michael Madsen, who Tarantino had long planned to team up in a prequel until the two actors aged out of the project. So this is just last names of characters. The Travolta and Madsen characters, they're in different movies, but he had them. I don't know if he retconned them or they. I don't know if did they mention Michael Madsen's last name? That his last name is, in fact, all right. So the first one, there was he's always talking about. He's still talking about it. I think Kill Bill Volume 3, where Vivica A. Fox's daughter comes after Beatrix Kiddo, and they were going to do the Vega brothers, the Venga boys, was going to be the Vincent Vega and Vic Vega from Reservoir Dogs. All right, question number 3, or pairs of questions. Number 3, name the numerically titled movie that almost got a sequel that would have seen Detective Somerset suddenly have psychic powers, for 1 point. Or name the sci-fi franchise with a single trilogy director, coincidentally, that was almost crossed over with the numerically named 21 Jump Street franchise, for 2 points. So these things almost happened. They almost made a sequel to what movie that would have given a completely grounded movie, no supernatural shit in this movie. They would have given one of the guys a psychic powers for no reason. And another one, they were going to cross over an existing series with 21 Jump Street. So the first one, it was there was an existing script for a movie about a psychic solving crimes. It was called Solace, and it actually ended up getting made as it was intended eventually, but it was for a while being reworked as 8, A-E-I-8, H. The 8 was the G in 8. And they were going to cross over 21 Jump Street with Men in Black, which, hot take, I actually think could have been good. I actually think that, like, because 21 Jump Street is a very silly and self-referential meta franchise. I think it actually could have worked nicely to just have them recruited by MIB. That's my hot take. All right, and your final pair of questions for tonight's game. Name the 1986 James Cameron movie that Neil Blomkamp was developing a sequel to that would have ignored 2 actual sequels that were made in real life, for 1 point. Or name the 1987 Paul Verhoeven movie that Neil Blomkamp was developing a sequel to that would have ignored 2 actual sequels that were made. That's for 2 points. So name the movies that he was working on sequels to. That I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that kind of sequel that disregards other sequels. I'm a fan of, like, the Fast and Furious style of owning your mistakes and incorporating them. Like, they're doing that with the Karate Kid movie. They're like making, like, they're working Jackie Chan into the ill-gotten, the ill-conceived, movie, the Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith, but with Ralph Macchio now. So there, I like that style though. All right, so Neil Blomkamp, he was making he was trying to make a true Alien 3. He was making a sequel to Aliens, and he was also working on a sequel to RoboCop that would have scrapped the shitty sequels. There were 1 shitty sequel, 1 okay sequel. All right, so that's the end of the game. Excuse me. That is the end of the game. Let's take a look at your scores and standings, and this time I will read them all the way out. We've got Pepe. Pepe only played for a little while. Trivia Rocks with 16.666666666666667. Fun Times with 19.5, Stallone with 20.5, Avis and Bobo with 23.1, Chris the Curator with 34.5, Powder with 41, the Helsinki Syndrome with 41.8333333333333. Marley's Chains with 42.6666666666667, and Han Still Solo winning the game with 44. All right, gang. So thank you for sticking with me. I know it's late. It's real late. So, thank you for dealing with. We would have ended on time if it hadn't been for the Optimum. So thank you so much. Have a great week. I'm aiming, like I said, I'm aiming to come back with a season. The next thing you see will be a season premiere. There's no game next week because I'm not going to make that. I can't turn that around. But I have an in-person. I have 2 in-person gigs, and I can't do the movie quiz after it because I will die. All right, so I'll be back in 2 weeks, most likely. If there's a delay and it starts in June, I'll let you know. But most likely, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the start of season 13. Have a great couple of weeks. Have a great rest of May, and McClunky.